Hey guys, welcome to the playground. Me and BDC sometimes like to get together and just shoot the shit like we used to on the playground back when we were kids. Well, when I was a kid, I guess.
I
You
was a
know what I
kid
mean.
too.
That's a long
No,
time ago in a
let's
land
not
far,
lie.
far away. Yeah, but no, so we've obviously got to talk about Marvel's SDCC panel yesterday. It had some announcements. We'll start with that.
Let's not only getting back to dropping bombs and what is it, Hall H or whatever it is.
I don't know which hall they were in yesterday.
I saw it listed. I can't remember.
Yeah,
I think
no,
it's
but
the big one. I bet it's the big one.
we'll start where they did. We'll start with the new Captain America movie coming out next year. It was. Hold on, I'm gonna look up his name because I'm gonna get it wrong. No, no.
I would say something, but
I'm still gonna say his name wrong. So I think it's Juan Carlo Esposito or Esposito.
yeah, but the G would be a the
Yeah,
sound. Yeah,
yeah.
I haven't even thought of that, but yeah.
Yeah. So he is not playing who everybody was talking about, which was Washington.
Yeah.
The
Washington
character,
Ridge.
the obscure character from Cable that everybody was talking about him being
Yeah,
for some weird reason.
I don't know.
No, he's playing Sidewinder from the Serpent Society, the leader of the Serpent Society, which makes a whole lot more sense seeing that that's what they had talked about this entire time. In fact, Seth Rollins was rumored to have played that part in the original shooting of the movie, and then with all the rewrites and reshoots, I guess they went a different direction with the character. Obviously trying to pull in someone with a little more star power, I guess, than Seth freaking Rollins.
Seth freaking Rollins. That's definitely a big jump.
Yeah, it's a huge jump from somebody who's really big in the wrestling world, but otherwise not really known to one of the most loved actors right now. The man does no wrong. He's great at everything
He's
he
one
does.
of the few that's been bulletproof, if you will.
Yeah, he hasn't really messed up. Even when he did, what was it, Far Cry 6, where he was the main bad guy. He was great. But that, apparently they showed more footage of the Red Hulk. Everybody was happy with the way that looked. Harrison Ford said that he did all the motion capture for it, which is crazy to me because he's 70 something?
Yeah,
late 60s.
He's pretty old.
He's pretty up there. But he said he had done worse things for money. So,
well, that's a story yet to be told.
Yeah, I've got a feeling he's taking a shot at the last Indiana Jones movie, which was also Disney.
Yeah,
that movie was terrible.
Yeah.
But so you got that. They showed more footage from it. I think it looks cool. I think it's just going to be an action movie like the other Captain America movies were, with a little bit of espionage and political drama in there.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait to see what they do with the leader. Bringing that back from the very first MCU movie to me is a huge... It just gets me right in my MCU feels. I love it to see them try to tie up something that happened, in 2007? 2006? When that movie came out? It's amazing to me.
Yeah. Suddenly.
No, it was
first one?
No. Eric Bana was the first one. It was Norton, yeah. Norton was the Hulk in that movie. So to see them tie that up, I think is going to be really cool. I'm interested to see what direction they go. It's almost got to be that the leader is the one that made the formula to try to save Ross from the heart condition he talked about in, that Endgame? And then, or Infinity War, whichever one it was. And turned him into the Hulk to save him, maybe. It's going to be interesting. I want to see Mackie do a whole movie. I liked the show. I liked Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It was good.
I did.
But he had somebody to play off of a lot with Sebastian Stan. And their dynamic made that show. It was hilarious. So I'm interested to see what he can do when he's alone, when it's just him and he's got to carry this thing. And don't get me wrong. I mean, he's got one Harrison Ford. Yeah. And he's
a good backup.
Yeah, I say he's got plenty of people that can help him carry this. I think it's going to be great. I don't think it's going to be huge action-packed blockbuster that people are trying to compare it to already.
Well, yeah, I don't think it's got some things to live up to first.
Nobody really thought Winter Soldier was going to be as good as it was either.
No,
that movie is still one of my favorite MCU movies to date.
It was watching again, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. It's a great one. Let's see.
Those first MCU movies, by and large, there was potential there, but a lot of people like the stuff they do now, they crap on it when it comes out and try to kill it on the internet. And luckily, the powers of media listened and kept going.
Disney's definitely made a few missteps lately. It hasn't been as solid. They have been trying to rebuild. When you lose all of your major characters, it's hard to pick up from that. You're losing some of the most iconic superheroes in history, and you've got to replace them with more modern heroes, and that's difficult. But they're pulling it off. It's gonna take a little while to rebound, but I think by the time we get to 2025 and 2026 with the new Avengers movies, which we'll get to in a minute, I think it should be back in at least a really good form. I think trying to get it to live up to Endgame and Infinity War is a fool's errand. I don't think you can recreate the magic twice, but I think it'll be good.
Well, I think with the pandemic and the strikes and everything, they did it out the best. The best they could have done.
Yeah,
but they muddled through. And one of the good things about, of course, the whole cinema scene has been rough up until I think, Barbenheimer last year did really well, but this year I think it's been a lot of blockbusters coming out.
Yeah, it's been
and everything's rising at the one time. And this, Deadpool and Wolverine, of course, is blowing things away for the MCU.
Yeah, I saw something earlier that said it's breaking records and it's headed to a $400 million opening just in America, I think is what it said.
Yeah.
Which is
it's all these missteps and mistakes or miscalculations or just a trifecta of things going wrong all around.
Yeah.
May have been a good thing because now it's like anything that comes out that's better than the intro is going to be praised.
Yeah. Lowering the bar may help them out a bit.
Yeah. Maybe we're slowing out. We're slowing down to the point where we go, okay, is this match up to Endgame? Does this match up to those two great movies?
Yeah, no, you may be right. The bar was so high after Infinity War and Endgame that it flopping a little bit right now is almost inevitable.
Blessing these guys, maybe.
Yeah, it may give them time to where once they start doing those big ones again, people go, oh yeah, there we go. That's better.
The beginning of the uptick will always be seen as Deadpool Wolverine.
Yeah.
It was a godsend to them, and they did the right thing, and they know that now. And plus, it's touching the base for the X-Men. I haven't seen the movie, and I'm not spoiling anything, so I don't know. I've stayed away from it, but touching base with the X-Men along the way and the whole Sony universe, not Sony universe. Well, with the X-Men, I know that's not connected. And there's been talks that they want to do a movie with Tom Holland.
So there's not going to be spoilers here. You don't have to worry about it because I haven't seen it. But talking about how it feels like Deadpool and Wolverine set the MCU and the Fox X-Men universe on a collision course.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because you could do the whole Avengers versus the X-Men. Yeah. I've got a feeling that's where it's going, which would be cool. It'd be a fun little play. Because, I mean, how else do you, in the MCU's terms, how do you pit the X-Men against the Avengers? Well, you throw the two worlds at each other and go, none of you know what's going on. Here you go. Have a fun. It'd be like Civil War 2. You're fine.
Well, a lot of this goes back because you got to be almost brain dead to not see so many of the references to incursions.
Oh,
there's an incursion here. There's an incursion there. You've caused one. That goes back to a storyline. I'm trying to remember the guy who wrote it. I knew this. this whole storyline they ran on the incursion idea,
Mm-hmm.
and all led up to the storyline that they've already alluded to as the second Avengers movie.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, I'll lead to Battle World and all that.
Battle World, yeah, and everything. The Secret Wars, the second iteration of the Secret Wars, and everything that led up to that. And Doom was heavily involved going into that.
Oh yeah,
all the way up to God Emperor Doom, which we expect to see.
Yeah, you've almost got to see him at some point.
The stage has been set, obviously.
Yeah. So if we go from that and the Captain America movie, the X-Men stuff, the next thing that they talked about is the Fantastic Four, which I am extremely excited for. I love Pedro Pascal. I love everything that man's done has been gold. He was the best part of Wonder Woman 89 or whichever one it was. Yeah, he was good in it. I liked it. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not going to get off on a tangent. I don't know what about that movie wasn't good, but it was something.
It was something. If you I'll figure out, go and watch it again to figure it out.
I really couldn't. I've watched it twice, and I'm like,
oh Lord.
I never
made it the first one. I'm sorry.
Like if you watch it in 15-minute increments, it's not that bad. And somehow when you put it all together, it's terrible. I don't know what happened.
Maybe that's it. It's all in the editing, people.
Yeah, we'll blame the editors.
Yeah.
But anyway,
throw them under the bus.
Having the Fantastic Four set up the way they have, and from the rumors and way people have talked about what they saw at SDCC was that it's very much a family thing. They're going for that family feel, which they have to. If you want to do the Fantastic Four right and you want to do them justice, it has to be based on, like Dominic Toretto would say, family, you know?
Well, it's one of the things I wrote an article probably 10, 15 years ago about what the things, what are the things you have to tick.
Yeah.
The boxes you have to click to make. And that's the top one. They're a family. And yeah, I think it was Pedro that was talking when he said they're doing everything to make sure it's not about the individuals, but it's a team.
Yeah.
And it's a family. And
yeah,
they have that in mind, which makes me very happy.
So I think the direction they're going to go with the Fantastic Four is going to be very obvious. I think there's not going to be a lot of cat and mouse hiding it. They already showed Galactus in the test footage they did at San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah,
they showed a reflection of him.
Well, that light show that they had, that was there, right?
Yeah.
Anyway.
So there's no hiding what this is going to be. Galactus is going to eat their world, and they're going to jump out.
Yep.
And somehow either end up in a different multiverse entirely and end up in the MCU, or just somewhere else in their own universe and then come back during Secret Wars and all that.
But back to the incursions. And there were several bits that were involved in that whole storyline.
Mm-hmm.
There ended up being two of them on one world. But besides that, back to incursions, two or more worlds, usually it's two worlds, and one of them can survive or both will be destroyed, one way or the other.
Yeah.
And that makes sense. Their world's destroyed, whether by Galactus and or this incursion.
Yeah.
And Reed's smart enough to find an exit.
Yeah, absolutely. If anybody can find a way out, it's going to be Reed and the Fantastic Four.
Yep.
Which leads us right into the thing that we really did this whole episode for, is to talk about the absolute mind-boggling reveal at the end, which was they had all these people come out on stage. They're all wearing Doom masks and this little cape thing. It was pretty cool looking. They're like, oh, okay, they're actually going to tell us that Doom's coming, period. They're just not going to hide it. They needed some kind of hype, and that's going to do it. And they had one guy walk out wearing a green suit and a cloak, and he took the mask off, and it's Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
Which is, I saw it last night. I was telling you, I saw it last night right as I was going to sleep, and I was like, wait, what? I was like, all right.
You had.
Well, I guess we'll deal with that in the morning. And then, I woke up this morning looking through it, and there's all right. So we'll just start with, how do you feel about them doing the reveal with it being Robert Downey Jr.?
So many emotions.
Yeah.
it's just all from the gamut of why I've seen people say, and one of those emotions is, well, they're getting really desperate now.
Yeah.
And I understand that. We talked about the failures, and this is definitely a win-win. They definitely can't go wrong. I mean, it could. But Robert Downey Jr. doesn't show up just for anything. He doesn't show up just to take a paycheck. Now, I'm sure he gets paid really well. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah.
He loves the money.
Oh, yeah.
But he said himself, he says, what can I say? I love playing complicated characters.
Yeah, it was the only thing he said at the Comic-Con was new mask, same task. And what can I say? I love playing complicated characters.
And when it came to the incursions leading up to Secret Wars, there were two groups that were getting together to try to save their world.
Yeah.
There was the Illuminati, which had Iron Man in it.
Yep.
Well, several different iterations. People like Professor X.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly how they're plugging him in, but in our world, Black Panther, which I won't go there. And then there was another group called the Cabal, which I believe was actually led off by a dude.
Yeah.
He brought these people together because he didn't trust the Illuminati. He didn't trust them being able to fix this.
Yeah.
Back to Boom arrogance. Of course, he's like, only I can figure this out. I can bring the people together to do this.
Yeah.
And maybe Thanos was on the in the group, although that's not going to happen this time.
Yeah.
The point is, Doom was heavily involved in trying to save our world from an incursion, along with the good guys over here. And probably the first most good thing Doom ever did. Almost selfless, but for sure how it ended up. Not so selfless. Yeah.
It was a greater good for humanity that paid off for him in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that it all makes sense because they've been drawing off that storyline for a while. Every time they say incursion, I mean, Doctor Strange.
Yeah, it's no big surprise. Like, everybody on the internet, me and you, everybody's been talking about the fact that Battle World is coming. Like, it looks inevitable, and they even named the 6th Avengers movie, or 5th
Secret Wars. Yeah,
Secret Wars, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, you're just gonna say the quiet part out loud. It's fine because we all know it's coming. Everybody's talking about it. You almost have to. You keep talking about these incursions, and then the Deadpool and Wolverine trailer had the literal Secret Wars comic book with God Emperor Doom on the cover of it in the trailer, and everybody went, "Oh, okay, well, yeah."
No, we're saying it. We're just talking out loud now.
Yeah, it's fine.
Anything.
So then they named it, and of course, the one before that was supposed to be the Kang Dynasty.
Yeah,
and they changed the name. I think if you want to point at any failure that Disney's had with the MCU lately, it's been Kang. It's such a cool character, but the minute you stuck him in an Ant-Man movie and had him lose to an army of civilized ants, I don't care how advanced they were, it's over. You can't pull it back from that precipice. It went over the edge. It jumped the shark, if you will.
Tom maybe can help it.
Yeah.
It's just
that whole debacle didn't go well.
They probably could have salvaged it. It wasn't for that fact.
Yeah. There's definitely ways you could have pulled it back, and I don't think they're done with Kang either. By the way, I don't think it's over. I think what they're going to
recast him.
Yeah,
I heard that yesterday.
I think what they're going to do is use Kang as Multiple Man in the comic. In the comic, Multiple Man was the anchor in every reality. And Doom pretty much collected all of them, if you will.
Well, that makes sense that Kang would be the anchor since he's everywhere.
Yeah, since he's everywhere. And use him that way as a stepping stone for Doom to do what he wants to do.
Yeah. The Council of Kangs, man.
Yeah.
That's easy.
I think it's going to be an interesting thing they're going to do with it. Because you can't just forget about Kang. You've put him too much into the fabric of the universe, literally. Right now at the moment, so you can't just back away from him. You've got to use it. But here's my hot take with the Robert Downey Jr. thing. I don't think he's actually going to be playing the Doctor Doom. I think he's going to be a variant of Doctor Doom. Actually, I think it's going to end up being a variant of Tony Stark, who became Doom instead of Iron Man, and he will bring the idea of Doctor Doom to the MCU, and someone else will take the mantle after the end of it. Let me pull this up. I looked it up. There's a couple of comics that happened a long time ago. Actually, it's not that long ago, to be real, but
yeah, that's my territory, because a lot of the original stuff has been passed. I mean, they've been notorious about hitting on storylines that happened after 2000. Like I told you, the Guardians of the Galaxy. Well, not my Guardians of the Galaxy. It's probably a good thing. They did the right thing, but they do a lot of that. And the incursions happened. The whole incursion storyline happened after 2000.
So there was a comic a while ago. It's not that old. It's a What If, which they've done on the animated series quite a bit. Quite a bit of things. But this one was called Iron Man, Demon in the Armor. And it was, here, I'll just read you the short synopsis here, if I can pull it up. Doop, doop, doop. There it is. Okay. That one did. Oh, there it is. So it says, would Tony Stark still be Iron Man if he wasn't Tony Stark? 20 years ago, in a college experiment gone wrong, the young Stark's mind transferred into the body of the impoverished but brilliant fellow student Victor Von Doom. So pretty much Doom was the poor kid in the college and found a way to switch places, Freaky Friday style, with Tony Stark, knowing that he was the golden boy, and became Iron Man and Doom in one. And the Doom armor looked more like Iron Man. It was golden red instead of silver and green. And I think you could play off of that, maybe without the Freaky Friday switch, but have it be what if Tony Stark had become Doom instead. I mean, because if you really boil the two characters down, philosophically they're different, but they went about things in, at least the MCU Tony, went about things in the same kind of way. You built bots to protect everything. You were just trying to defend what was yours when you felt you were too weak to do it, so you found other ways of doing it. Where Doom went magic and armor, Tony went technology and armor, but you could do it. I like the idea of him not being our Doom, but being
an alternate,
a Doom
variant.
Yeah, I don't think he'll end up being God Emperor Doom, is what I'm saying. I think somebody else will be that.
Yeah. Now, I agree with you that in the end, Robert Downey Jr. will not be playing the actual Doom.
Yeah.
I agree with that. My hot take kind of alludes to Infamous Iron Man. Everybody's talking about it because, of course, in that storyline, Stark had just died on national TV after the Civil War II storyline, and Doom had just gotten back from the whole God Emperor thing. Had been humbled and realized he'd done so many things wrong, and which is way off the story arc right now.
Yeah.
But he decided that he would become the new Iron Man. He'd be the protector. He would be the good guy. It's not far late to say, well, of course, Tony Stark just died. He disappeared off the scene. All that tech, and of course, Doom's ability with tech and magic.
Yeah.
That he would decide in all his ultimate, arrogance that no one else in the world could pick up that mantle but him. So he will become Iron Man.
Yeah.
He will use Tony's likeness, possibly, because I'm not sure how much the world knows. I guess they made it very clear to the public that Tony was dead.
Oh, yeah, because they were doing murals of him in Spider-Man.
You're right.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be beyond him, although it kind of smacks to his arrogance for him to use Tony's likeness, kind of the whole AI thing during some of the storylines, to where the AI shows up looking like Tony.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's one of the first things I thought too, is he could use magic, he could use technology to look like Iron Man if you wanted to play it that way. If that's what you're going for, though, that's a bold move, Cotton. We'll see how it pans out, because
I think he might use that technique to get on the inside.
Yeah,
get at he needs to get to something to get at the Stark technology to up his game.
Yeah.
And to do what he needs to do to save this world. Because an incursion is coming.
Yeah.
And so he shocks everybody by either saying, "Hey, I'm a variant from Tony from another world. I'm here to help you."
What are the odds that it's Doom from the Fantastic Fours universe?
It could be. It could be all
from
part
the same
of the process.
place.
Yeah,
because he sees what's possible and goes, "Oh shit!"
He sees his world destroyed. He knows what's coming to this one.
We got to stop that.
He failed the last time. He will not do it again, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You learn from your mistakes, and it's quite possible. Then he comes looking for Tony Stark in this world. He's dead.
And
what?
He's dead. Yeah.
And maybe they worked together for a while. And Reed and Tony worked together to try to stop the incursion.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible.
Playing as an alternate Tony Stark, which you would have to look like, and you would need Robert Downey to look like and act like Stark, and then slowly begin to understand there's something wrong with this Tony.
Yeah, throw in little hints that he's doing things or saying things that you're like, wait, that doesn't sound like our Tony.
Well, it's not. If he comes in and says, "I'm not your Tony, but I am a Tony," they might let some things go. Like, this Tony's a little different. I don't like. Yeah, he's off base, but he's right, kind of thing. Only to find out that he is Victor Von Doom from another world. We may not even have one. I don't know. Maybe he goes and kills that dude. There's so many possibilities now.
But if you play it off that way and do the reveal that he's been hiding the way he looks, then you could have a different actor play Victor Von Doom. Because the other option I see is that Doom just never takes his mask off. He's always wearing that metal,
and you don't have
mask. Yeah, you absolutely don't have to. He could just be behind that mask, and if he is, then it doesn't matter who plays him. Robert Downey Jr. is, if you've seen Oppenheimer, he's proved he can do the serious, more. He's not always the funny man. He doesn't have to be. And he could do something totally different than Tony, because Tony was the comic relief for most of the MCU. And have him show a different side, a side where he's more vicious and he's more calculated.
Yeah, more cold.
You good?
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. has been proving, and if you guys don't know about some of his other exploits, you think, well, he's played Iron Man. That's great. That doesn't make he played a great Iron Man. He can't do anything else.
Oh no!
After Oppenheimer, I
Oppenheimer's great.
I just got through watching Sweet Tooth last season. I believe he was heavily involved in that direction. There are several. The Perry Mason show that came out, and they're still producing it, is not the old school, but it's good.
And there was a movie called Your Honor or The Judge.
Yeah, that's
his dad was Duvall, and that was a great movie.
He's proven himself to be quite talented in a lot of forms.
He's a great actor. There's no arguing that.
He doesn't have to go back to act. He didn't have to do this. It's not like, on the end of the payday. It's not even about that. It's like, I got all this stuff going on, but you just convinced me this is important, and I think I need to do it.
Yeah.
It's got to be big and good.
He is, to quote Deadpool, he's already Marvel Jesus. He literally created it and then saved it with his death, right? Like that was the whole thing. It's obviously
him.
Christ-like analog there, but it's like you said, he doesn't have to do this. He doesn't have to come back. He's already as high as he can go. He can never do another movie, show up to every Comic-Con ever and be loved on, and he's not hurting for money. Yeah.
Everything he's directing and producing. He's a very busy man. Him and his wife are very busy.
So either they've got the biggest dirt on him ever, and they're like, you come back or we will destroy your career.
What dirt could they possibly have on him we haven't dug up already?
Yeah,
I swear. Yeah, it's possible. Or this is an amazing story they're about to tell, and he is on board because it's a great story.
Yeah, I think so too. Especially you get the Russo brothers back to do them. I love their movies.
1-2 punch.
And the writer is one of the writers that helped write Infinity War and Endgame. I believe. I can't remember his name. I feel bad. But yeah, I think it's going to be great. I really do. I think they've obviously got something up their sleeve, because if they didn't, you don't announce it this year. You could have waited. You could have just announced that it was going to be called, oh, by the way, it's called Avengers Doomsday.
Doomsday, yeah.
You could have just announced that, and everybody would have been super excited. Robert Downey Jr. did not have to come out there.
But it was long, man. They dropped that bomb, that place lit up.
Yeah, it went crazy. And I think there's plenty of things you could pick at and say, well, they didn't do this and they didn't do that. But we don't know what they're doing at the moment. Like I said, I don't think he's playing the God Emperor Doom. I think it's going to be a variant or something that leads to it. I think he's the setup for it. Which,
yeah, definitely. And it's classic misdirection. They watch the superstar over here, and it's
that's the first thing I thought too. It's like, why tell me that now?
Yeah, that's not the punchline.
Because think about what you could have done if you hadn't done that. He could have come back in a movie and been a Iron Man variant from a different place, and everybody would have bought it hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah.
And then do the slow burn, and then, oh shit, no, wait, that's Doom. That's not Tony. Why tell me that now? It can't be the punchline. It's got to be, it's the hook. I've got you. Here, take the cheese, little mouse. I've got a hold of you.
Those psychos have us about the short hairs.
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
I swear.
They've got a great cast going right now, even though I know the movies have not been as good. Okay, Marvel's wasn't great, but it was good. I liked it.
It was a great intermission. I mean, it's a good intermission. Let's go back to the real, right?
Shang-Chi is great. I think that'll be really cool when they get a second one. Doing the whole Young Avengers thing that they're doing right now with Kamala, she's great.
They are
Kate Bishop.
I don't know if you read. I don't know if it's true. I believe it's confirmed, but I believe they're merging that with a Scarlet Witch movie.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's where they're going to bring in Wiccan and what's the other one's name?
Tolkien is his superhero name.
Yeah.
Wiccan.
Mm-hmm.
He's got something he's going to be in before that. He's going to be.
Yeah, go ahead.
He's going to be up front and center in the it's Agatha all along.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that. It's going to be interesting because I'm interested to see that one. It's got a lot of actresses in it that I really like. And then they mentioned Wiccan, and I'm like, okay.
Yep.
All right, sure. Let's see this. Because are we doing this, 10 years later? And he's...
Where the hell did she get him from?
Yeah.
He didn't exist.
That is a fair point.
Without Scarlet Witch involved at all, how did you pull this off? And once again, we may be doing alternates.
Yeah, Wanda's definitely not dead. I mean, I'd have told you that before they said they were doing a Scarlet Witch movie.
The five stars / characters that fans love, no matter what they do. She's in there.
Well, we haven't wrapped up the whole White Vision thing. That dude's still out there, just wandering around. And then, anybody that dies and I don't get to see them die, I don't believe you. I don't care what happened.
This is moral we're talking about.
Yeah, this is this exact reason that Robert Downey Jr. died front and center.
Oh yeah, they
made you watch it. It was horrible.
Yeah, thanks.
One other comic to bring up from back in the day, and it's what was the actual comic's name? See if I can find it. It doesn't. What I pulled up here doesn't tell me the exact comic that it was, but it was the world that Tony Stark of Earth 5012 was ravaged with war with Titanus, and the Earth was devastated. Many heroes died. Would start becoming more violent individual as a result of the losses. At some point, he became opposed to Reed Richards. His words implied that Richards did something that resulted in several deaths and caused him to view Richards as a psychopath. Adopting an armor that resembled Dr. Doom, he fought the Fantastic Four of his world and killed the Human Torch after the torch burnt his face. He was eventually sent to the main Marvel Universe by Richards, and for reasons unknown, Stark commented that it was a neat way for Richards to get rid of him. He got sent there, and the Fantastic Four of our continuity and Doctor Strange confronted him, thought it was Doctor Doom returning. After Stark confirmed his true identity by he escaped by using a power dampening device on the Fantastic Four. Posing as the real Iron Man, he obtained a number of devices and planned to use the mutant Paul Patterson to power a portal. And then the unlikely duo of Spider-Man and X-23 assisted Captain America and Black Widow in stopping him. Anyway, I can keep going. I can read you the whole comic. But he ends up getting a hold of a liquid armor that Tony had and becoming what they called the Iron Maniac.
Maniac, okay.
Yeah. But it's such a weird story. And yeah, I don't know. It's very interesting little tidbit that he came from another universe, tried to be Tony, stole Tony's tech. You know, it kind of plays right into what we were talking about earlier. And I wonder if that's going to be part of the direction. I'm sure it's going to be a conglomeration of all of the things we've talked about on top of some original ideas.
They definitely have to, like everything they've done, they have to merge it into the continuity they're dealing with. Because every time you write a universe, we should know this better than everything. It has to make sense. You have to be able to figure out how to work it in. You can't just throw it in there and go, it's going to work on its own. It's got to make sense to the continuity.
100%. But
boy, I'm sorry, I'm looking at Paul Patterson. I've never heard of him.
I don't know either. I assume his powers have something to do with opening portals.
Says that his body constantly absorbs and stores solar energy. That sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Yeah.
For various effects, including enhancing his own strength and energy blast. Well, that sounds really familiar, doesn't it?
Did they just rewrite Bishop? What happened?
No, I'm thinking Superman.
What is it?
Solar energy.
Oh, yeah.
Constantly absorbing and storing solar energy for certain powers, which his own strength and energy blasts. If his absorption of the solar energy was disrupted by such a partial wound or the contents of solar energy cells would explode. He's just a more volatile, dangerous Superman.
So yeah, he was trying to just get a big battery to power the machine.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. That's exactly what.
Right.
That was first appearance was Marvel Team Up Volume 3 number 1 in 2005. So it was like a team up story.
Yeah. The only thing I wish would hold over from Fox's X-Men, I mean, I love the movies, but I think if Marvel's going to do them, you got to redo them completely, short of cameos like they're going to do all through Deadpool and Wolverine, I'm sure.
Yeah.
The chick that played Magic in the New Mutant movie.
Oh, goodness, yes.
It was so good. That's what's her name, isn't it? Anna Taylor-Joy.
I think it is, yeah, actually.
I was sitting here thinking about it. I was like, wait a minute, that's her, isn't it? It sure is.
I hadn't thought about it, but you're right.
It is her before she got as big as she is now.
She plays in, man. Everything she does is magic, I think.
Yeah.
Sting said, yeah. It's magic.
It's magic.
I made a joke.
Who knew? But yeah, so I think Marvel's headed in an interesting direction. I don't think you can kill the Juggernaut at this time. They'd have to really, really, really mess up. I think there's plenty of people, no matter what happens, no matter what movie is announced, no matter how good it is, there's always going to be people that hate it and just like to shit on it for absolutely no reason.
There's no engine for that.
Oh, yeah.
It drives me nuts. That's all they do.
People tried to, review bomb Deadpool. That didn't work. I don't know what you thought you were going to accomplish. Although I keep seeing the same video on my TikTok over and over again about this very Christian family, I guess, that went to see it. And they left 3 minutes into it. It's like, well, yeah, you went to see Deadpool. That's a bad idea. If you're not if you don't want the pegging jokes, don't go. I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, did they make it R or did they make it PG-13?
It's R. It's the bloodiest, nastiest movie, yeah.
I thought so, and then I heard some comment about Deadpool sold out and went. Because they're kind of like,
Nope.
no,
it's hard.
I don't think so. Just the language and the discussion in general. Yeah, read the ratings, people.
Yeah. Like, what did you think have you seen the other two? Like,
you just walk into Deadpool because it's got Wolverine in it. Oh, it must be wholesome.
The only thing I've heard about the differences between the first and second one is they toned down some of the sexual stuff. Like, he still makes the jokes, but like in the first Deadpool, there's a whole sex montage, you know, which was funny, and but Disney was like, hey, let's. So you get the jokes, and you get to see Deadpool with an unlimited budget, and not, you know, one clip worth of bullets for the whole movie.
A lot of shooting and stabbing and death and decapitation.
I'd say I'm sure there'll be plenty of decapitation and claws going in random orifices.
Speaking of decapitation, I did see a guy that was showing off the they call him Deadpool, the undead head.
Mm-hmm.
They made a popcorn bucket.
Yeah, now they've got a bucket for Deadpool and Wolverine, and the hole is the mouth. Which, do with that what you will.
Jokes go on forever.
Oh yeah, they write themselves.
Yeah, it's easy from here.
But yeah, do you have anything else you would like to say about Marvel at this moment, or any of the announcements?
In the last 24 hours, I am just exasperated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a lot.
I've said about all I can think of. Kind of like yesterday when we finished our D&D session. I'm like, I don't want to think about anything for a while.
Yeah, I'm gonna go take a rest.
So much happens, and then I go on to that. Yeah, and it's like, are you kidding me?
It's about about how I felt yesterday. We got done. I was rested, and I was like, "Is that fucking Robert Downey Jr.?"
It's like the meme with the brain.
Yeah,
and it's the person's like, "I'm going to go to sleep now," and your brain goes, "Hey, Robert Downey Jr. is going to be doing." It's like, what?
It's like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with that information? I was
almost asleep.
Yeah, you ruined it. But yeah, no, I think it'll be good. I think it's going to be weird, and I'm here for the ride.
I am
bad or good. I'm going to watch all of them.
Yeah, I'm easier than most. I'm dyed in the wool. I might not like for the past few movies, not go to the theater for all of them.
Yeah.
From here on, I mean, I will see Deadpool in the theater.
Yeah.
I just don't like going on opening day for big on crowds.
Packed.
But I will pretty soon. Maybe I'm off Tuesday. Maybe.
Yeah. See, there you go. Go see in the middle of the day when everybody's at work.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. Yeah, but
no, I have nothing else to say. My brain is empty.
All right. Well, appreciate you guys sticking around and talking with us. Let us know in the comments what you think about Marvel's announcements, the direction they're going. If you got to pick Doom, who would it be? Or would you just let Robert Downey Jr. take over and run with it? Who knows? But appreciate you guys listening. We'll be back next week with more. Who knows what you're going to get? Maybe some D&D, maybe some magic. Who knows? But we'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Take care, guys.